Let's go on the subject of physical. Let's go on the subject of most common fallacies in the fitness world. Because nowadays we see many systems of many fitness systems appearing on the market, and some of them are probably not that good. So I'm wondering what your opinion is about those of some of the systems that you can see today.
Well, like all things, people like variety. You know, people are rarely satisfied with the simple basics. They're always looking for something, you know, bigger, better, faster, you know, shinier, newer, you know. And people get bored very easily. So you see these fitness things come and go. I mean, I've seen so many different things, you know. It used to be high impact aerobic dance for the ladies, and then step aerobics, and then, you know, power yoga, and, you know, now it's like Zumba, and Crossfit seems to be popular in certain circles. So, you know, it's always something new. But if you really want to see what's stayed around and stood the test of time, it's always just been basic, you know, simple strength training. Been here forever, you know. People just have to realize that there's no magic formulas, no secret exercises, there's no shortcuts. You know, it's just basically plain simple hard work using basic exercises. Nothing magic in that. But you can't sell that either, and you can't make money in that idea. You know, truth be known, there is no real money to be made because there's no secrets. But yet, you see the entire fitness magazine industry all based on, you know, the latest secret routine or the latest supplement or the latest pill that's going to make you, you know, unbelievable or whatever, you know. So, you know, a lot of it's just based on pure hype and on advertising, and based on unscrupulous people just looking to make money.
Right. Well, you mentioned CrossFit. I would really like to know your opinion about CrossFit, because some people have criticized that system for being that their planning wasn't that good. Periodization wasn't that good, and that people get injured a lot doing CrossFit. So I'm wondering what you think about this.
Well, let's start with the founder. The gentleman's name is Greg Glassman. He's younger than I am. I'm 60 years old for your audience. I've been training for a half a century, and I've managed to keep myself in pretty decent shape. Greg is obese and, you know, very immobile, and even admitted that he doesn't even train. That right there is a red flag. If the founder of a particular system is not a good example of that system, well, it's going to make me take a really hard look. Now, that being said, you know, I do know that there are people that know a lot but, you know, aren't in great shape anymore. Okay, I can buy that. But then when you look at the system very closely, as you said, there's no rhyme or reason to the training. There's no planning. It's just always all-out, high-intensity training with no thought given to recovery and recuperation. And don't get me wrong, I'm not against the concept of cross-training. It's very good for people that have no real goals. For example, athletes need to train specifically for their sport. It's very specific. CrossFit is very general. You'll never be good at any particular thing doing CrossFit, but they've kind of made CrossFit into a sport. But how can you compete in exercise? It makes no sense. If I said to you right now, hey, let's do a set of push-ups, right? And let's just get a really nice workout, we would probably use pretty good form because there would be no pressure. But if I said, hey, let's see who can do the most push-ups between us, let's have a contest, you better believe we would be using poor form, going fast, partial repetitions, letting our backs collapse, just anything just so we could beat the other guy. That's what competition does to exercise. It's almost impossible to do something in good form when the goal is just to see how many repetitions you can do. So it's self-defeating in that way. The other problem I have, of course, is the concept of using high repetition Olympic weightlifting with a barbell. It's very dangerous. Even Olympic lifters who train specifically for the sport of Olympic lifting, and they are well trained, get hurt all the time. Olympic lifting is very technical, and it really takes a long time to develop the ability to do the lift correctly. And when you're taking like just average businessmen and housewives and even younger kids, my God, you're placing their joints under a tremendous amount of stress. Personally, I don't see any real fitness benefits to Olympic lifting that you couldn't get in a much safer way with something else.
Like what?
Well, let's say, for example, Olympic lifters are known to be some of the fastest, most explosive athletes on the planet.
And have the highest vertical jumps as well.
They really are incredible athletes. But is it because of the Olympic lifting? Or do people with that type of body type and that type of muscle fiber, they're attracted to Olympic lifting because they will be successful at Olympic lifting? So is it the chicken or the egg? You see? It's like, okay, the body type that is successful to the sport will naturally gravitate to the sport and be successful. So,
or in case of the Eastern Bloc countries, they would have a selection of children, go through phases, and then they choose the children. East Germans even did muscle biopsies so they can see what kind of muscle fibers a child has.
It's kind of like tantamount to the aerobic dance movement. They used to have various dancing, and there'd be very obese, fat women, short, poor body dimensions, and they say, I'm going to go to dance class because I want a dancer's body. As if dancing somehow is going to transform their torsos and their body into the long, lean lines of a ballet dancer or a jazz modern dancer. Not realizing that the body type that would be successful is attracted to dance in the first place. So people with certain physique types are going to be attracted to things they can be successful in. But dancing is not going to transform someone with poor body proportions and make them look more proportionate. Just as Olympic lifting is not going to make me, like a fast twitch fiber wonder, I could do all the Olympic lifting in the world and not improve my ability to jump beyond a certain level. But I maintain there would be a much safer way for me to improve my jumping ability or my explosiveness without the dangers to my joints of Olympic barbell lifting. And it's interesting because even the Soviets, who were pretty big into lifting, they had all sorts of alternative exercises for their athletes that did not include Olympic lifting.
Mm-hmm.
Read Michael Yes's some of his books on old Soviet training methods. It's really interesting. The Olympic lifts just weren't in there.